Hello and welcome to the latest installment in the Guns and Gear series. So I promised this video about 2 months ago, or maybe even 3 months ago, when I revealed the XCR itself, and that was before summer started. I promised a lot of YouTube videos during the summer, a lot of projects, but global warming is real. I'll tell you that, because it is definitely it's too hot to possibly do anything at all. And this gun is the VFC Echo1 XCR, which is the better of the two. So I got this gun on eBay, so it was about $230. You can check out the review to see, the reveal to see everything that it came with. Mine came with the original box, which is pretty nice. To point out here, I don't exactly know if Echo1 themselves licensed this gun, but it seems to me that ISGK licenses the gun and gives it the Robinson Armament Trademarks. So it has a very nice box. It is smaller because the stock is folded. This isn't how everything came. I took the PEC box off for review sake, took the battery out for review sake as well. It comes with that PEC box, this magazine. It also comes with this little stubby grip, and then the gun itself. And no iron sights, and it does not come with a battery, but mine came with a battery. Okay, so this is the battery that mine came with. It's a nickel hydrate. LiPos do work with this gun. Made in China, and it's on Tamiya, as the gun is still on Tamiya. I don't know about, well, I will convert it to Dean's, just not right away, but LiPos do work, and this fits in the packs. I just choose to run this anyway. You can even see it in the gameplay. You can see the PEC box attached to it. Alright, so I'm getting my current information off of e-bike themselves. They are out of stock, which I think they've been out of stock for a while, since the Echo1 polymer versions came out. I don't think they really sell the VFC models anymore. Alright, so e-bike says that it features a full-length rail system, authentic engraved trademarks, so they are laser engraved into the metal, which is always a great thing. Unique serial numbers. Each XCR is going to have a different number. Mine is 655. Has a side folding stock, which does not lock into place on the side, but it doesn't matter. We will take a look at that later. And then it also has ambidextrous bolt release, similar to the design of the ACR's bolt release. 45-degree fire control selector, which I do like the degree on it. It's better, more comfortable than an M4. Has a working bolt assembly, which means it locks back to the rear for adjusting your hop-up. And the upper receiver is just full CNC aluminum receiver, one piece. So this gun is just super, super solid. It feels like the whole thing is just a one piece aluminum, because nothing really moves or rattles or nothing. It's just. And since it's VFC, the paint job is also very nice, so there's not going to be a lot of scratches or no bullshit like that. I don't know if it's anodized, but it is high quality aluminum. It's very nice. It says the muzzle velocity is 370 to 400 FPS with 20 grams, which is what I'm running in the gun recently. Has a length of 29 inches or 20.25 inches. It's folded. Well, I'll note really quick about the size of the gun. It's like a carbine pretty much, but it's such a small carbine that it's almost a PDW at this point. The length of the inner barrel is 247 millimeters. The included magazine is mid-cap, and it's VFC style, so it has this bump right here, so it won't fit in a majority of guns, which is pretty annoying. But it is Tokyo Marui mag compatible, so anything that's Tokyo Marui spec on their magazines will fit in the gun, which pretty much all my mags fit. Never really had that problem with VFC. It says it holds 120 rounds, and the magazine is also very solid. But I don't really have any gripes about it, only it's kind of hard to put into the gun. And pretty much all mags are kind of hard to put in there, but that just means that it's got a very strong mag wheel, and you're not going to lose any magazines. It has a medium type motor, and the battery that's recommended is a 9.6. It seems that the battery is custom made for it. It can also take LiPos, a stick LiPo along the top on the inside, but I have not figured out how to take it apart yet, because I don't want to take apart a gun that doesn't need to be taken apart yet. Okay, so one of the first things I do in my reviews is try to explain the weight to you guys. Now, e-bike did not provide the weight of the gun. I'd say it's just about 6 pounds. 6 to 7 pounds. I mean, it is a full metal receiver and full aluminum. Pretty much everything is aluminum. Now, with the battery attached, not too much more. This isn't one of those guns that you get tired carrying around because it is a pretty small carbine. And here's a look at it with the stock folded. Pretty easy to do. I like the button. I like the way it folds. Most beloved feature to the gun is the stock design. I really like the way the stock looks, and this is the only reason I like the XCR, because with an M4 stock, I dislike this gun. I just do not like it. From here, where the rails are all attached, this is all one piece aluminum. So all these rails, and then the whole upper rail, and the whole upper receiver, and you can see this line here, and then there is one solid piece of aluminum. The lower receiver is also just a piece of aluminum. And then the tubes that make up the stock, not including this foam pad that surrounds it, which is actually pretty nice quality, it's not going to come tearing apart. Underneath that is more aluminum. So pretty much a whole ton of aluminum, high quality grade, nice paint like VFC likes to do on pretty much the entire gun. So, trademarks or just any markings whatsoever on this gun. So, licensed by ISGK, and with the help of, I assume, Echo1 and Mad Bull, it has been licensed with the Robinson Armament. So, you can see their logo there, pretty nice. Looks like it's laser engraved into the aluminum, which is always a great thing. The gun is kind of dirty, but that was because of the previous owner. I haven't gotten a lot of use for this gun, just one time I played with it, Airsoft, so there will be a link to the gameplay video if you'd like to see it in action. So the model is the XCR-L, which I assume is the light variant. I don't really know if there's a heavy variant. I'm not very educated on the XCR line, which I probably should have done before I made the video. So you saw the serial number. This is not etched. I mean, it feels kind of etched, but it's more of a painting. Could have been laser done, just in white. Then you have a warning to read the manual, and then the firing modes. So real quick, I'll give you a demo. The Selector Switch. The 45-degree angle is just fantastic because you'll be holding your weapon like this, and then you'll switch from safe to fire, and then to fully automatic, and it's just a nice placement. The throw is much shorter than the M4 where you had to go all the way around and stuff. This one, at the 45 degree, just feels so much more natural and at home. Just flip around, and it is a very good selector. It's super solid. I can't see this untightening itself. Nicely placed on the bottom of the trigger guard is the Echo1 logos. Seems to either be laser done or just painted. And then, like most VFC guns, they have their warning on the gearbox shell that if you take it apart, you will lose their warranty. On this side of the gun, laser etched into the body is XCR and then Trademark. Any other markings would be on the gas adjustment block, or some numbers for gas adjustment. Doesn't do anything in Airsoft, and no, not like the SCAR, this is not a tool. But it does function for the sake of pretending to be a gas block. You just push in this button and then rotate the thing. Alright, that's better. You push this little button down and then it spins around. You can select your gas adjustment. But, oh yeah, it does come out. But it pretty much doesn't do anything. It's just a piece of aluminum. Alright, so now all the features that this gun has. It has the 4 rails up front. As you can see, coming out of this hole is the wiring. What they expect you to do is use this PEC box. It's a hollowed out PEQ box, light laser combo and all that. I'm not sure this is the original one that comes with the gun, but the XCRs, the VFC XCRs do come with this because they don't exactly have a place to put their batteries. So the wires would come out of this hole, but for the sake of the review and because I wanted this as a prop on the Jelly S just because it looked cool, I took the battery out. It's kind of cheap. It's all plastic. I mean, this could be smashed into a million pieces if you hit it hard enough. Otherwise, I think it is polymer. Okay, so for review's sake, well, I would probably put it closer to the front. So for review's sake, your PEQ would pretty much be here. And you have the wires hanging out, and you connect it like this, so all your wires are exposed, but truly I don't give a shit. I hear a lot of people say they hate PEQ boxes, and some people actually do run the LiPo option on the inside of the gun, which I think you should be able to just push out that pin right there, but there was a set thing on the pin on the inside of that slot that just looked like a pain in the ass, so I didn't do it. So I really don't care about running PEQ boxes. You'll hear on the internet that people hate them, but to be honest, I actually always kind of needed one for the Jellios Beretta. So this is an inclusion, and this is, like I said, the type of battery that will fit in the gun. So on the nickel hydrate, this is semi, and this is full auto. Pretty respectable for nickel hydrate, but it will run on a LiPo, which maybe I'll do for the shooting test. Okay, so other things that are included with the XCR were this stubby grip. Now, the stubby grip, I think it looks pretty ugly when on the gun. It's not an ugly grip. I'm glad it came with it. It looks good on some of my other guns, but I just don't like it on this gun for some reason. And actually, I think it might have broken. This screw right here, I think it's stripped because the screw itself will no longer screw in, and I saw some shavings, some metal shavings around the ring of that screw, and it just had me worried. But yeah, it's nothing special. I mean, it is rubberized, which is just great. So yeah, it kind of is special. I mean, it's stubby, it's rubberized, it feels really nice. And since it is a little short, I could still get my pinky on there, but I prefer to do this, which I will demonstrate. When I use this gun, I put the grip about here. Oh, and I will mention that this screw gets in the way of the EGLM launcher that some of you know I have, which is so disappointing. If it wasn't for that small difference in design, I would have an EGLM launcher equipped to this gun. But it will not happen. Okay, I forgot to bring out my screwdriver, but I just have it on there slightly. When it is fully tightened down, it is super solid. It is on there. There's no creak or wobble or nothing. It is one with the gun, and you could put all the weight of the gun on this one grip. Since it is short, I prefer to wrap my thumb up here, which just feels great. These rails are not sharp like some guns are, so hold it pretty much like this to get a good grip on it. Almost as if I had the angled foregrip, which I do want to try on this gun. I think an angled foregrip would look pretty good. Okay, so the magazine that was included, mid-cap, so you need a speed loader to use it. It requires just a tiny bit more force than you're going to be used to put your mags in. Not too hard though, but it is a free dropping mag, so just hitting the button will release the magazine. You don't have to yank it out of the mag well or nothing. So it just features a regular M4 style magazine release, but you can see the body here is kind of custom to it. The low receiver is pretty much like an AR, but it will have some differences, which I actually prefer. And then of course the ambidextrous bolt release, which I will demo for you guys right now. Okay, so I'm not entirely educated on the operation of the real XCR, but I heard it's a Kalashnikov design idea, so it's kind of like a bolt and stuff. So something I wanted to note before I moved into the charging candle is the front assembly is all vented to cool down the real barrel. So there are ports along the sides here, and along the top where the gas tube is also ported, so everything can be cooled down. There is a gas block similar to, well, SCAR design pretty much, and a really short barrel coming out the end, but the barrel is about PDW length, so that's how long it is pretty much. All the rails have indented, well, all the rails are indented through the middle, which is pretty nice, I guess. Not a bad looking design. I can't decide whether or not I prefer indented rails or just regular old rails, but they all work the same. They're all, I think, 20. What is it? 20mm spec on rails. I think so. But getting back to the features. So we saw the 45-degree throw on the Selector Switch, which is my preferred favorite out of Selector Switches on M4 platforms. A feature that I really like is that the magwell is actually recessed higher up than your usual M4s, because you'll notice that when the mag's in there, the mag will look a lot longer. I think M4s come to about there, but the magwell is recessed further in, and it kind of has a well to it, so the magazines go in better. So now I'm not sure how the real XCR operates. I don't know if when it's done firing the charging handle stays locked back, or if you have to do it to redo it. I probably should have watched a shooting video about the real one, but since it is Airsoft, I'll just show what it does. So it racks to about there. I wouldn't say it's lackluster, but it's not very beefy. And once it's been racked, the bolt moves what looks like a realistic amount, which I hate when guns only go about, I'll show you. I hate it when airsoft guns only go like that far back. Ooh, that drives me mad. But it looks like it goes all the way, and it is a wheel dial. It is a wheel dial hop-up system. It says up. Yeah, so that's up, and then down. It is very stiff. It appears to be made of polymer as well. And just for mentioning real quick, that is the brass deflector. Alright, so the characteristics of the bolt. So it racks back, you expose your hop-up, you can push it forward, but it won't go all the way forward unless you do charging handle. I mean the bolt release is down here like an XCR. So you rack it back, change your thing, and then here is one of it, and then the ambidextrous one. So you can either do it down like that with the trigger finger, or sometimes I'll do it like this, put the mag in, and then do that. So many ways you can do it. Using it isn't going to scratch anything up. It seems to be just fine. Unlike the scars, it doesn't matter what angle you do it at, it's going to lock pretty much every time. It is a pretty good system, and the bolt itself is pretty high quality. There's nothing extremely beefy going on, so not a lot of weight on it. So not a lot of wear and tear I could possibly see happening with using the actual bolt. Loaded around, you could just push down on the thing and go like this. So yeah, it's a nice bolt assembly. It seems to have a really big, just really big charging handle on the side, which is good ergonomics. So the pistol grip area and the trigger guard and trigger and all that, pretty much just basic M4 AR standard. Has a motor adjustment. The grip feels decently sized. I'm not sure if this is the thinner grips that VFC make, kind of like on my Scar. I haven't had my Scar all summer, which really sucks. But it should be here soon, I hope. Bad thing I want to show you guys real quick is that on safe, the trigger will slip and it'll still fire. So it can still fire on safe. It feels pretty crappy right here. And then semi, it's kind of a squishy trigger pull. Yeah, it's like a soft, almost squishy trigger pull, but I haven't had any problems with this gun so far. It's been pretty reliable and pretty beast. So getting towards the back of the gun, there are no included iron sights. So I have my my red dot. Alright, so no included iron sights on this gun. I do want to pick up M-buses or 416 style sights, but for now I have my my red dot. It does a terrible job at lining up with the actual shots, but I need something, because just aiming down those rails itself is not enough. There is this thing, which I'm pretty sure is just to assist in taking it apart. I believe it's just that one pin to take it apart, because it's a split gearbox design, so the lower receiver of the gearbox where the gears are, and the trigger system and all that is all on the bottom, and then the piston and the barrel are all up top, and it'll split apart. So split gearbox design from the VFC, pretty smart, makes working on your gearbox a whole of a hell lot easier. So this thing is attached to the upper receiver, I assume to help you push the upper receiver off from the lower receiver. It has a sling point here, and nothing on the other side, just a hinge. So the stock is really easy to activate. You just press this button, and then the stock will come out of the way and fold. There's nothing to actually attach the stock to the side of the gun, but it's just not going to come flying around and stuff. This is the gun folded. Very small, pretty much PDW, like I said. It's super small. Makes for CQB. Well, yeah, actually, this is a fantastic gun for CQB. So you'll even see it in the video that I fold the stock and then I go into the kill house for maneuverability. Didn't have to, but it did make things easier. Alright, now that we're in the back of the gun, we get to stock, which is one of my favorite features about this gun. There are a lot of features of this gun that I like, and the foam cheek pad, you would probably think, oh, in a year or two, that thing's going to be gone. But no, it's really high quality foam. But these are just two tubes of aluminum, and then you get to what I think this whole back piece is polymer, and there is another sling point on the back, which I just have my FPS tag for now, and then the buttstock, which is serrated, and I think it's rubberized. Yeah, the buttstock is rubberized. The height difference between the sights and the stock, when you are shouldering this weapon, your eyeball is pretty much lining up with the top of this rail. So you got to look up or lift your head to actually look through the sight. So I recommend some pretty low profile sights for this gun. Also features a steel Birdcage flash hider, which is of extreme quality, and the threading underneath is your standard Airsoft spec of 14mm counterclockwise, and it has a brass inner barrel. Alright, so now that the features are all the way, I'm going to go front to back in extreme detail. I kind of did cover enough already, but I am going to do build quality as well. So, alright, so starting in the front, the flash hider is made of steel. The outer barrel appears to be made of aluminum, and I want to note, if you could see on the inside there, that the barrel gets fatter as it goes in. Just thought that was a nice, interesting feature of realism. The gas adjustment block is aluminum. Yeah, the whole thing is aluminum. The inner gas block is aluminum, and so is the upper receiver, obviously, is aluminum. This little screw is steel, and this body pin is steel. Low receiver is aluminum. Magazine release is aluminum. This is aluminum. Aluminum. Fire selector is steel. Side of the bolt is aluminum. The charging handle is aluminum. Brass deflector screw is steel, and the bolt appears to be made of steel, but it is just a thin piece of metal. Trigger is aluminum. Magazine release button, aluminum. This thing, aluminum. This whole section, aluminum. This button, aluminum. Screw is steel, aluminum. Aluminum, polymer, and rubber. So, yeah, that was pretty quick. Usually this part takes me a while. Basically, this is a discontinued, I would say, permanently out of stock gun. You're going to need to find them either overseas. Overseas usually has this kind of stuff in stock. Oh, and I wanted to mention that the top of the gas block looks like it can attach a sight to it somehow right here. It reminds me of the SCAR. The front sight on a SCAR. That's what that reminds me of. But this is a fantastic weapon. Carbine length. PDW almost gun. If you just overall like the look and the feel and the story and the design of the XCR, because it is American made in Utah, and the XCR, I think, program, there's a story to it that I should have read up. Performance. Now, being this is VFC, the gearbox is just always super good. I've always been impressed whenever shooting this gun. Every time I've ever finished shooting it, I've just been happy with it. Accuracy though, accuracy is pretty piss poor on this gun, I have to admit. When I'm shooting it, I almost never hit what I'm shooting at. I only got 1 kill during the gameplay, and I can attribute that to being the 20 grams I've been using, but no matter what I've tried, this gun has just always been pretty inaccurate. I don't know why. I mean, it's VFC, so it should be dead on, but rate of fire is pretty impressive on both nickel hydrate and on LiPo. The shooting test will be done on LiPo. I've had it for about 3 months, haven't had a single issue with it yet. It's just been shooting perfectly every single time. I love the stock, I love how it folds, I love the rails. I don't really like the foregrip. I like it on other guns, I just don't like it for this one. I prefer no grips at all on this gun. I've never tried my angle foregrip though. I think that would look and feel pretty nice on it. Lately, if you've noticed, I've been getting a lot of old guns that are no longer for sale because I think the older guns just did it better, like the Beta Projects, the XCRs. Oh yeah, the K2A Glocks. I keep buying K2A Glocks, but those old guns, like for example, the Ares Tar. I think Ares did a much better job with the build quality, not the electrical, but the build quality of the Tar over S&T and Elite Force. I just thought they made a much nicer looking gun. I would recommend you buy it if you definitely can. I've seen these go for $500 on eBay. This package was $500 until the guy realized he would never get $500 for it. He lowered it, and then I asked him for $230. So if you really like it, if you really like the XCR version, keep your eyes peeled on Craigslist and eBay, and possibly overseas. I think eHobby Asia will probably have this gun. And that concludes my review of the Echo1 VFC ISGK licensed XCR. While I'm shooting, I like to keep my thumb about here while I'm semi, and then I'll flip it into full auto sometimes.